In September of 2008, Don and Casey left their two beautiful children with their grandmother to run errands to replace the tires on their car. On the way to do this errand, they lost control of the car and blew a tire. They ran head-on impact with a truck and both were killed upon impact. The accident took place less than 5 minutes after they had dropped the children off at the home of their grandparents. This was less than 3 miles from the home of the grandparents, Christel and Randy. They were informed about the tragedy that night by the local police and the victim's advocate for Adams County. Christel and Randy were no strangers to raising their two wonderful boys, Xander, 23 months, and Eric, 8 months. This was the second time that Adams County Child Protection had placed the children in the grandparents' care. The children's young parents had struggled with substance abuse, but with the help of Christel and Randy, had earned their children back into their custody only 1 week before the accident.
We came to know Family Tree through some pretty extraordinary circumstances. My son Don and his wife Casey were in the system because they needed assistance. They were a young family and struggling, and so they went to social services. She was only 19 and he was 23. Their two children and themselves were living at our home, and for about 3 months into it, we had discovered that they were getting ready to use an illegal substance for a night out. And I took it away and I had put it in storage and talked to my husband, and we had decided to confront them about it. And they were reluctant to talk to us. And in our concern for the grandsons and not knowing how long they may have been dabbling in this, we had no choice but to turn them into Child Protective Services. That was a hard choice. But anyway, so I'm sorry. The children were placed voluntarily in our care while they were under investigation. And they had to get their stuff together, basically continue working, provide housing, stay in compliance with the system, and to try to get their family back together. And they were very successful, and we supported all their efforts, and they had received their children back. And that lasted for 1 week. And then on September 12th, they were killed in a car accident. And so we were grieving and having a lot of struggles. We were somehow put in contact with Family Tree. And Alva was our savior, I'll tell you. She was mine anyway. She was like an angel in disguise. I remember grieving one time so hard that I pulled over to the side of the road and the phone rang and it was Alva, and I answered it. And she cried with me. And then she stayed on the line until I regained my composure.
Family Tree didn't really breathe life into the Campbells again. The couple did it themselves with the help of the resources they were connected to through the Family Tree Town of Staple Families program. As their case manager, I walked this journey of healing with the Campbells and helped find resources to meet their needs. I was able to help connect the family with home-based counseling to assist with the grief process, as well as a kinship support group. With my first home visit and I met the family, they were still in crisis. There was major grief on both of the grandparents' part, but they were not able to deal with their grief because they had to work with the little boys who they had in their home. It was then that I referred the couple to the Family Tree Kinship Legal Clinic, where they received assistance. Donaldson, Chanchio, and Goodwin, PC, a law firm that voluntarily provides a kinship legal clinic for the Family Tree clients. Christel and Randy were determined to ensure that the grandchildren were raised in the best environment possible. Amidst the obstacles, there was one more struggle: Christmas.
She knew my son's birthday was also on Christmas Day, and the holidays were coming up, and we were grieving and going through transitions and everything, and she gave us resources. She actually put it together. I had nothing to do with it. She called me one day and told me to come down and pick up all this stuff. It was food and bags of toys, like a Christmas like we've never seen, clothing, and diapers and everything. I mean, I couldn't even function at the time, and she was breathing for me. She breathed life into me again.
Family Tree was grateful to be a part of all of this and watch the process and watch this family come together.
They guided us through, they helped with the paperwork and guided us through, and we got custody of the boys, so we're guardians. And they're thriving. But you know, I mean, we talk about our success and being congratulated for our success now. I don't think we're successful yet. I mean, maybe up to this point, but I think our true success would be measured in the completion of raising the boys, and graduating high school and getting a career and moving on, you know. And I think in the end, we all just have our memories. And I want to make memories all along the way. And Alva and Family Tree have definitely become strong memories. Thank you, Family Tree.